Happy mid-morning for Friday, guys. Okay, so I got a question to start this one for you. How many of you have ever heard your senator, your congressman go, "I'm all here to help the working man"? Probably every single one of us, right? Well, in the last 2 days, we've got the old FU from Congress as to where their loyalties lie. Their loyalties 100% completely lie with corporations, and they could give a rat's ass about the working man. Okay? Think I'm kidding. Now, we all know what's been going on with this tentative railroad strike and the ramifications and everything like that of it. We've all heard about this. Okay, if you haven't, you've been living under a rock somewhere. Okay. Well, of all the unions, remember last month Biden had mandated a negotiated contract to avert a strike. And 4 of the unions said, nope, we're not agreeing to it. And so there was there still is, a tentative strike scheduled for December 9th, okay, about a week from next weekend. Well, Wednesday, Congress passed a law, if you will, that the railroad strikers had to go back to work. They got something like a 24% pay raise, okay, but it did not address their big concern of paid time off, okay? And many of you have heard the stories, I've mentioned them a couple of times, where guys have been told they can't go to funerals, they can't go to weddings, they can't go to, kids' birthday parties, they have to work, whatever it would be, okay? That they don't get any PTO, any sick time or anything like that. Gee, I've got COVID. Sorry, if you don't come to work, you don't get paid, okay? And there are a lot of companies like that, don't get me wrong, that where you don't get paid. But the companies that are like that are not critical for the supply chain infrastructure in this country, okay? You hear stories about these guys running 16, 18-hour days. I don't know about you, but somebody running a train on 16, 18-hour days with no sleep, okay? Yeah, that could be a little scary. How do you think we get train derailments? Guy took a curve too fast. How many times have we heard the conductor or the engineer fell asleep at the controls? Okay, it happens occasionally. Why? Because these guys are overworked. They need a break too. So going back to what I was saying, so that then after Wednesday that the House passed this, senators yesterday voted 80-15 to mandate a contract for the rail workers, right? And Potato Joe has already said he's going to sign it, right? 80-15. Remind me again, which party is for the working man? Oh yeah, that would be neither, okay? Every single Democrat, save one, Joe Manchin, voted for this. And obviously you had 35, 34 Republicans vote for this? Yeah. Don't let any of them tell you ever, okay, that they are for the working man. The next time they're up for election and you go to one of their town halls and they run it, "I'm here to support you." Your first question, how'd you vote on that railroad bill? And unless they can say, "I voted against it," "Oh, so you aren't for the working man. Thank you." And make that as freaking public as possible, okay? Now, I know there's plenty of people who are going to compare this to Reagan and the air traffic controllers back in the 80s. Big freaking difference, okay? Reagan's push, okay, what he did to the air traffic controllers was either go back to work or you're fired, okay? That's not what Biden's doing. Biden's saying go back to work. No fired part about it. Why? Because there aren't any people qualified to replace the people that work on the railways, right? Engineers, mechanics, I mean, whatever. Pick a position. There aren't people clamoring for jobs with the railway going, I've got the skills, I've got the skills, I've got the skills. If you had the skills, you'd already be working there. Okay. So he can't threaten people with firing because there isn't anybody to replace them. So he's trying to force them back to work. What does this sound like when government gets in charge or gets in bed with corporate America? Welcome back to globalism, Klaus Schwab, and communism. Again, now, this is my thought. Unless Biden is going to send, I don't know, the FBI or the NTSB or whatever, gun in hand, going to Joe Smith's house and saying, get your ass out of bed, you're going to work right now. I don't think these four unions really give a rat's ass about what Joe said. Okay? They still hold all the cards. Okay, it's not a strike. Let's have a sick out. We're not getting paid? Okay. You ain't getting any work done. These trains aren't moving. Mind you, if these people don't go to work, those trains don't move. $2 billion worth of product moves on the railway system every day. Okay, just to give you that idea. Food, fuel, clothing, coal, oil, let's talk about those things going into winter that might be important. I don't think this really means anything. This sounds great, for those who are the sheeple that worship Congress. Oh, look, Congress stepped in. They took care of it. I'm sorry, but my representative, the FBI, Joe Biden, knocks on my front door and says, get to work? No, sorry, I ain't doing it, okay? And even if they do, are they going to put in a full day's effort? No. It kind of goes back to the old Soviet Union joke. They pretend to pay us, and we pretend to work, okay? That's what's going to go on. Oh, okay, you're going to force me to show up? Sure. How do you start this forklift? I don't know. How do you turn the wheel? Oh, I'll show up. Okay, fine. Make me show up. Doesn't mean I'm going to do shit, okay? You can't force me or anybody to do anything. If these guys feel wronged, until they feel right, they aren't going to work. In a situation like the railways, that means safety is at risk, okay? That means stuff on the shelves at the grocery store, at Walmart, at Target, wherever the hell you shop, ain't going to be there. Just because Congress came and stuck their nose where it doesn't belong, pandering again to their union bosses and to the corporations and screwing the little guy, doesn't mean the little guy is going to go, oh, okay, fine. No, it doesn't work that way. The little guy is going to stand up. And like I said, December 9th rolls around, this may be on the books. Don't be surprised if you hear stories of a sick out, okay? As the New York cops call it, the blue flu. Yeah, all right. That's kind of how things work. Just because they're told to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. Americans have a pretty nasty individualistic streak in us, okay? We don't like to be screwed over by our boss, by the government, by anybody. These guys have a real chance here to give a one-finger salute to Biden and Congress. Personally, I'm fine with if there's nothing on the shelves for a while. Let them see what they're asking for. Let the world's eyes open up when the trains stop moving. You and me, we got food on the shelves. All those sheeple out there who just think, it'll all get fixed. Everything will go back to normal. These guys have a great opportunity to say, nah, not happening. Personally, I hope that they do a sick out. I hope this strike goes on. I want a dose of reality given to the public that the idiots that you voted for do not have your best interest in mind. And it's time to throw them out and get people running this country who actually care about the people in the country. Keep prepping, guys. Keep stacking, keep stocking food, water, ammunition, weapons, power, blankets, clothing, whatever. Because there's a possibility in a week it ain't on the shelves. And in regards to your Christmas presents, yeah, buying stuff at Amazon, buying stuff at Walmart that gets shipped to your house, just so you know, a lot of that stuff gets shipped by the railways. You might want to make alternate plans if you haven't already got your Christmas presents in, because if these guys do decide, you know what, screw Biden, Christmas presents may not be under the tree this year. Pinball out.